The clock is counting down. We have very little time to organize ourselves to be able to achieve certain changes in our society. Fact of the matter is that the people who have been controlling the society that we live in and the global society have been collaborating for a very long time, multiple generations. The amount of people involved in that group has increased exponentially, so that where there might have been 10 people involved in a certain group hundreds of years ago collaborating towards something, there are now hundreds or thousands of people. Those hundreds of thousands of people are all in positions of power. Basically, you can look at any country in the world, you can look at any corporation in the world, especially multinationals, especially central banks, and you can see that the collaboration between the powerful has only increased. The organization has only increased. The amount of success these people have achieved amongst their stated goals is only increased. And here we are, complaining about gender, complaining about whatever the hell else comes up, invasion of Ukraine or what happens with celebrities, and none of it matters. The only thing that matters is the fact that the people around the world are subjugated. Every place that you look, the people are subjugated, and the amount of control that these people have over our lives is only increasing. I hear from people all the time that if we just wait, new world is coming in, or the whatever they're seeing, oh, it's coming in. The fact is, nothing comes in without the direct efforts of organized people. Who's organized? Well, I can tell you the Bilderbergs are organized. I can tell you that the BlackRock and Vanguard corporations are organized. I can tell you that the European Union government is organized, that the American government is organized, and it is not beholden to the people, it is beholden to the charters that demand it to behave in a certain way. The only people that are allowed to participate in these organizations are people that agree to that charter term. The terms of that charter. What are the terms of that charter? The terms of that charter is that you must, in some capacity, be willing and able to further the goals of the Fabian socialist, of the plutocratic agenda, the agenda for one world government. One world government is not some conspiracy theory in the derogatory term, the way that that is applied today. No, one world government is a stated goal of every multinational organization in existence today. WEF, the World Economic Forum, the European Central Bank, the ECB, the Federal Reserve Bank. Everything that you see coming out of the United States government is in the same stated agenda as all of these other institutions. They are all one organization at this point. The fact is that if you are a Republican or a Democrat, it doesn't mean anything. If you are a socialist or a capitalist, that doesn't mean anything. Because what socialism means for you is one world government to them. So whatever it means to you, it means one world government to them. If you're a capitalist, it means one world government to them. Who are the them? Well, there's about 80 standard members of the Bilderberg group. There is a wide array of people that spread off of that group. There's a lot of other organizations that are all international organizations, but basically it's the same group of people that you can find on the Bilderberg member lists. So if you really want to find out what's happening in the world, then you just follow the money. You look at who's profiting off of every single event that occurs. Who's profiting off of the fact that trillions of dollars got printed in the United States? Who's benefiting off of the fact that the supposed pandemic occurred? Who's profiting in real terms? And it's not individuals. Individuals don't matter. So if it was just Bill Gates, it wouldn't matter. It's not just Bill Gates. It's a whole group of people that are organized, highly organized and efficient in what they do. They hold power in the media. Only a few corporations own all the media. They own the banking structure, the financial structure. They determine when interest rates rise, what countries get loans. They determine this based off of policies that they create at these meetings that they hold. Whether it's Trilateral Commission or the Club of Rome or the Bilderbergers or the central bank meetings or any number of other international or multinational organizations, their meetings they hold, they determine what's going to happen in this world. And if you follow that, you will see that what they determine is what happens. Nothing is coincidence, and none of the events of the world are happening without the participation of these powerful figures dictating to the rest of the world what needs to happen, and then the blind just following along that trail because maybe they get a paycheck, maybe it's out of fear, maybe it's out of security, maybe it's whatever. But the fact is that people are following it. And no matter where you look, it's the same people that are at the core of this organization. It is the same people that dictate their will. And the fact is that so many people are blind to this. And there's so many statists, people that believe firmly they would die because they're Republican or they're Democrat, conservative, liberal. But the fact is that the pink-haired, transvestite, trans whatever, transgender person and the hardcore gun-toting, God-fearing, rural white Republican man, in the end it doesn't matter. Fact is that you're a part of the agenda. Everything that happens to guide you down a path. You are allowing that to happen. Every time that a distinction is made between one group and another, the fact is that as long as we aren't a nation, a whole nation, then the one world government is succeeding. The agenda is succeeding. It's separate the people, divide and conquer. If you are not participating in life in a way that unites your community, that unites people around you, then you're part of the agenda. And in so much that you unite people around you along terms that are based on the divisions of the society, you are part of the one world agenda. You are participating in it whether or not you want to. So the solution at this point, I don't see a solution. I see a solution is when you mix two things together and you come out with something else. I don't see any mixing possible at this point. You got to hate the bankers. You got to hate the bankers. And as long as the politicians are not doing that, they're in the pockets of those people. They're not just bankers. They're themselves politicians. They're bankers. They're industrialists. They're monopolists. Multinational organizations. If these people aren't getting somewhere, then the people who aren't taking are in their pockets. There's no other way at this point. So it's, what do you want to do? Do you want to argue with people on Twitter or whatever? Or do you want to really make a change in this world? All that media is all censored. It's all guided. It's all corrupt. Elon Musk is a technocrat. The Fabian Society, the Fabian Socialists, that's the whole point of it. It's technocracy. It's the industrial ownership of the world. It's the industrial ownership of the chattel, which is you, the people. You don't have to believe this. But the fact is, if you don't see this, it's because you haven't taken the time to see this. There are millions of people around the world that do immense amount of research for many, many years. They're called conspiracy theorists most of the time. And yeah, there's some pretty far out things that people talk about. But if you look at the guiding principles in all of it, you will see commonalities that cannot be avoided. The fact that there are small groups of people controlling the masses. And it's pretty damn obvious when you start to look for it. If you decide just to trust in the system, whatever it is, you're in the pocket.